Yeah. And if you're DeMarco Murray, man, you got to get money. You know, I know the goal is, you know, you said it in the preseason, you want to get a Super Bowl, you want to be with a Super Bowl contender, but it's that constant struggle between, you know, what we want and what we need and what we feel like we deserve. And that's where he's at. He feels like he deserves a certain amount of money. You know, Jerry Jones has a certain amount of money, but especially while that whole Adrian Peterson thing is just dangling out there and no one knows where it's going to go, that's too tempting. That's too much. That coupled with the fact that anybody remember the name Marion Barber? He got money from Barry. Yeah, exactly. The Barbarian.
MB3.
Yeah, the Barbarian. And the problem with that became that Marion Barber was the ultimate close. He was the Mariano Rivera of football. Fourth quarter, with a lead, he's going to salt it away. It's going to be over. But when you when you pay him money, starting running back money, you know what he has to do? He has to start, which makes his role as the closer, it makes it null and void. Because what was happening, like you get dudes tired out in the first three quarters, and then they got to tackle a dude who don't care about life, yours especially. Yeah, it's going to be problems. But now they got time throughout the first three quarters to kind of wear him down and beat him down the same way that he's beating them down in the fourth quarter. He becomes a little bit less effective because his role has to change with his income. And inevitably, the money, you know, the money and the money and the productivity didn't add up or didn't sync together, and he had to move on to Chicago, and in a couple years after that, retire from the game. And you gotta believe that, you know, the folks over in Valley Ranch have learned from that lesson. That once again, DeMarco Murray is a running back, and the fourth round of the NFL draft will come. It will come, and God knows this running back draft is what's called deep this year. So,
yep.
DeMarco,
it's a great running back draft.
Yeah, if you wanna do your thing, ain't nobody gonna be mad. Like this whole deal about DeMarco Murray, this ESPN thing again. Oh, he took all the Cowboy stuff off his social media. You know why? Because DeMarco Murray, as of today, the beginning of the league year, is no longer a Dallas Cowboy.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's like when they fired us from CBS and somebody was like, you know what Rob and Mike did? They took all the CBS stuff off their social media. I never had any. Yes, I did. I'm a lie.
Well, yeah, I had taken mine down. I had taken mine down years ago.
Yeah, all my stuff was business. Yeah, my stuff had my business stuff on. I didn't have anything that had anything to do with But just say I did. Yeah, of course I did. The next day, I wasn't working there no more. So, yeah. They let me go. No, they didn't. They fired me. They didn't let me do anything. They made me leave forcibly after many a complaint and me calling them liars and telling them that this was what is it called? It was a wrongful termination. That's what I told that lady.
Yeah.
You know it's a wrongful termination. She hit me so quick with that work to right state. I was like, prod. Yeah. I know the law.
We don't need a reason.
Yeah, I know the law.
The right to work state.
Right.
Yeah.
I know the law.
And meanwhile, I should have known something was up when the IT dude just kept hovering around me and kept saying, "You still here?" Like, wait, you think I'm wrong yet? Yeah. Like, why are you hanging around me?
Leave it to the Jamaican to give it away.
Yeah.
You still here, man?
Yeah, like I'm working. Like what? He's like, oh no. They said I need to work on your computer. Oh, you need to work on my what? My computer fine.
Yeah, we gotta shut all this stuff down. Make sure you ain't taking no valuable information with you. That's why.
Yeah, they were deactivating the profile.
Well, we have a little bit more freedom now, and hopefully,
I love that place.
Hopefully,
not really, but
in the short weeks to come, we'll be inviting some dollar bills via the podcast as well. So yeah, if you guys know anybody who'd like to sponsor this here thing that we're doing, you can always have them call my business line at 404-981-4683 or send us an email at sportskingsatl@gmail.com. Don't necessarily do it through Twitter and Instagram and all that because, you know, just to keep things separate a little bit. But if you know anybody who'd like to, you know, share in the vision and the dream, by all means, we offer very, very competitive rates. I don't know what they are yet, but
tell it right.
Yeah.
Tell it right.
We'll have something for them. Okay. Moving on from the land of the NFL. Last hour I mentioned that I had some NCAA stuff that was on mine, and this isn't going to take a long time anyway. At any point, well, not the beginning. The first part is that Ohio State University, the defending national champions. Rob, are they defending national champions?
No, Mike.
Of course not. Why? Tell the people why they're not.
Because because they're not defending anything. They're the champions from last season.
Right.
They're not defending anything.
This is not Floyd Mayweather. This is not Ronda Rousey. If Ohio State goes out and loses to Presbyterian State University of the Blind, Deaf, and Dumb, they don't automatically get the championship. Guess what? 2014 will still be known as the year of Ohio State University. All right. So now that we have that cleared up. Because once we start taking calls, this stuff will come up again. Because at some point, all that stuff, like I talked about earlier, all that stuff is going to come to the show. The whole, the live shows and the interactions via the Twitter and the chat line and the phone calls. So I'm setting the table now of things that will not be tolerated. Yeah, man, the defending champion. The defending champion New England Patriots. No, they're not defending anything. They keep their championship forever and ever and ever until everyone on that team dies of head injuries and steroids. Whatever.
And the school still has the championship.
Right. All right. Now, the reason I bring this up is because of this cavalcade of black quarterbackness that's going on that campus right now in the form of Braxton Miller, J.T. Barrett, and Cordell Jones. Now, I will refresh everyone's memory. Braxton Miller went into the season last year as a starter. He was the 2-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year, Heisman Trophy candidate. Got hurt in the was it the preseason or in the spring? Hurt his shoulder. I don't remember if it was in summer or spring, but before the season started, he had a shoulder injury, and everyone was like, "Oh crap, what's happening here?" Well, Urban Meyer said, "This is what's happening. My system, the same system that made Alex Smith, who is now a bum, that made Tim Tebow, who is even more of a bum." Made Braxton Miller, who is a better athlete than both of those guys. But, Urban believes in his system. So he's like, where's JT? Anybody get in the game, JT? And everyone's like, who's this kid? He's going to start for Ohio State after never, ever starting a game before in his life. Young freshman baby. Well, he got out there and did his thing until he suffered a leg injury. Oh, junk. Where's that big kid? Cordell or whatever his name is. Somebody call him. We need another quarterback. Like, that's somebody's kid. That dude is huge. But anyway, so Cordell comes in and simply, he don't do nothing. Only wins the national championship over the favorite Nick Saban. Oh, the SEC. Yeah, that happened last year. First of all, he beat them in the semifinals. Let me back up. Beat Nick Saban's boys in the semifinals.
They got beat in the semifinals.
And then went up against Marcus Mariota and the boys from out west, and that spread fast Heisman Trophy winner, and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be bigger than you, and we're going to push everyone around all game until you give up. And that's precisely what happened. Beat the snot out of them too. And then people were talking about, oh my God, this kid Cordell Jones, excuse me. Wow, that's another dude. Cordell Jones has had the best 2 games of anyone's career. He should go to the NFL.
Right now. Just right now. Go to the league. Just go.
Oh, and someone tricked that kid into coming back to school. I don't know.
Don't forget about everybody pushing for Braxton Miller to go to, Florida State or somewhere.
Yeah, my hand's up. I have my hand up. Yes, why isn't he first of all, why isn't he 1 at Florida State or 2 at Florida? Dude, you've already graduated. You had to sit out no time. You step in right away and play. Immediately. What are you still, the minute that game is over with, I'm like, Coach, here's my forwarding address. I'll be somewhere where it's not snowing at this time of year and very sunny and girls have huge backsides. That's where I'll be next year. At one of those 2 schools, either in Tallahassee, where I can walk across the street to Florida A&M, or I'll be at the University of Florida, getting on with a bunch of white co-eds. Same way I'm doing while I'm here. Yeah. What am I doing here? You're at practice today, and they're like, they still don't guarantee that he'll stay after spring practice. But look, dude, if I had the opportunity to be at spring with Florida or Florida State, I'm not missing no time, B. Because what happened to that kid at Alabama? The kid that transferred from Florida State that thought he was gonna come in and start immediately? Yeah, we like to introduce you to Blake Sims. That's him right there. He's going to start the entire season, and you'll sit on the bench and
actually, they split time their first game.
Yeah, because it was against Presbyterian School of the Dun and Blind. Of course it was.
And Blake just had a better showing.
Yeah.
And look.
Yeah, keep playing with the spring practice thing like you don't need it. Yeah, ask him, whatever that kid's name. I don't even remember his name now. But yeah, ask him. Do he need spring
but
practice?
But you know what? I was really surprised that Nick Saban did not roll with that dude for some reason. And maybe it was the black quarterback thing in Alabama. I don't know. But I just swore that they had brought that dude in to be the guy, and that Blake was going to end up having to be on the bench for his final season.
Well, that's more of that ESPN stuff. They had him penciled in as the starter. After he didn't play at Florida State. He was like hurt or something, or redshirt or something crazy like that. He got hurt. That's what he was injured. So no one saw him play any. Like Blake Sims at that point had played more than him, backing up everyone's favorite guy. What's the kid's name? The kid that married Brent Musburger, or was about to marry Brent Musburger's girlfriend. AJ McCarron.
Hey?
AJ McCarron.
Oh yeah, AJ McCarron.
Yeah, Brent Musburger's girlfriend. His.
Oh yeah, Catherine.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah, she's the look at her.
Yeah, she came up off that thing too. Got a couple of commercials, Hardee's type thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that Hardee's stuff, when the last time you ate at Hardee's or like Carl's Jr. or anything like that?
Yeah, Carl Jr.
When's the last time you've eaten at one of those places?
Since I left Augusta back in 2006.
Yeah, like
that's a long time.
Those commercials do nothing for me, dude. They make my heart, maybe because I'm getting older, just make my heart start hurting. Like just watching them, I'm gonna catch my arteries are gonna start closing up just watching the commercial. Like, yeah, we're gonna give you 3 patties and 7 pounds of bacon on one bun. What? What you mean?
Yeah, now look, while we're talking Hardee's, I will say this: when I was working up in South Carolina, we had a little deal with Hardee's where they gave us these little free big burger coupons or whatnot for our listeners. Boy,
yeah, the game has changed.
That
was the biggest burger then. Like the thick burger was like about as bad as you're gonna get. Now they got like the triple thick burgernator. It's got like, they just put the whole pig on the bun and like wrap it with ground beef. Or it's like one of those deals. Like, yeah, it's the tastiest thing ever. Then have like a half naked white girl on the commercial eating it to try to like soften it up.
She threw up. She put her finger in her mouth and threw that up right after the commercial.
That's par for the course. Of course, you gotta do that, especially if you're her. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that, but
thick white girls love thick burgers. No, they like thick meat, but not thick burgers. All right, go ahead.
Well, there you go. Taking me back to another day and time in the life of
who ate the big piece of chicken?
She did. Anyway, staying along the lines of the NCAA. Yesterday, I started the show by talking about a lot of the things that were going on over the weekend in Selma, and I talked about the young man who got killed by the police officer, the young black man that got killed by the police officer in Madison, Wisconsin, as well. And I started the show off with those. It was kind of a little heavy, I do admit, but it was just two things that were very, very much on my mind as far as, when it comes to like misinformation and the things that we hold on to as we move from generation to generation. Now, when I say we, I mean black people. The things that we hold on to and we cleave to as we move on generation to generation. And yesterday, I had this story yesterday. I don't know if you guys heard or saw this thing. It was a video that was made on the campus of Oklahoma University by a fraternity, a white fraternity, historically white fraternity, the Sigma Alpha Epsilon, known as the SAEs. Now, I went to school with the SAEs. Rob did not. Yeah, they had SAEs in my school.
I did not.
They didn't have any SAEs at Alabama State. They had Sigmas, but they were black dudes wearing blue, and black people could get in their fraternity. Anyway, the story goes like this. They made a video of them being on a bus and chanting. I couldn't understand what they were chanting, but the story told a lot. They were chanting about black people being lynched and using racial slurs and talking about black people never being able to be in their fraternity ever. And I don't know who was taping it. Like, I don't know, it was like some white person was like, this isn't right. I'm going to tape this thing and blow the whistle on this whole entire deal. Or there was some black dude that snuck on the bus and was like, hold on, did this dude even know I'm here?
The bus driver, the backup driver. The backup bus driver always sits at the very front or in the very back.
They don't even see me. Let me get my phone out. Check this out. But anyway, and because you're you just assume the best driver is a black dude.